Harry, yes, darling. Yeah. We need to get rid of Megsy B. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the battle of the princesses. Some poisoned, one destined to be queen. Not her. Certainly not her. With that horror movie like photo. But yes, there she is. Catherine has been making a new public appearance today and speaking out about her cancer battle. That's, of course, as fresh questions are raised about these two women, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, and if they have to take some of the flack for the Andrew scandal, which is now engulfing the British royal family. But first to this bizarre new publicity stunt from the fake Duchess, who now seems to understand that covering up her face is the best way to promote her failed brand, as according to Taz posted, alongside some far less flattering examples, same vibe. But of course, it was Meghan's propagandists at People magazine who were quick to report that, of course, there was some type of royal connection to this odd Instagram post. Yes, apparently that's the same outfit, the Roland Mouret dress that she wore to the Royal Foundation dinner in London in November 2018, where she attended alongside Prince Harry, Prince William, and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. And yes, when she was a real royal. Let me bring in the wonderful Lady Colin Campbell. Now, Lady C, look, we know that this brand is in deep trouble, but it's so obvious she's just ran out of ideas. I mean, what is with that picture? What does she think is going on with this?
Well, actually, Dan, I thought it was really rather clever because she's managed to get the point across that she is royal, that she's married to the king's son, and that the Prince and Princess of Wales are her brother-in-law and sister-in-law. So by wearing the Roland Mouret dress, she's actually re-established a link with the royal family, which, as you know, she desperately needs to keep refreshed, because the only thing that's of any interest to anybody is not Meghan Markle, it's her connection to the royal family.
Oh, indeed it is. Indeed it is. But I just think that
It's
picture
bizarre.
is
It's
so
crazy.
bizarre.
Mm.
It's like a horror movie, isn't it? But look, obviously, we have been seeing Catherine a lot at the moment, Lady C, and thank God, because of course, for the rest of the British royal family, life is pretty tough. We've seen Prince Edward ambushed this week. We've seen Queen Camilla ambushed this week. We've seen King Charles ambushed just today. But not Catherine, who still maintains a huge amount of respect, especially in regards to her recent cancer battle, releasing a deeply personal message to mark World Cancer Day. And it came just one day, actually, after she had been told by a delightful member of the public outside this visit that the public just really want her to get better. Watch this.
I hope you get better really soon.
Thank you.
Well, what happened to you?
Oh, thank you very much. This is good. This is good for my soul. We do want to. Oh, thank you.
And Lady C, we just love this woman, right? Do you think that is the reason that Catherine is not being targeted even by the hard left, even by the hard Republicans? Because there is a feeling that she is so important, not just to the British royal family, but to national morale.
Oh, I don't think so, Dan. I think if they could target her, they would. But they realize that since they are supposed to be humane and humanitarian, and their shtick is that we love everybody, and the poorer the better. But since we love everybody, even rich grand people and even royals who are suffering from cancer need or have suffered from cancer need to be sort of kept at a distance. I think it's purely cynical. I think that if they could, they would plunge the knife in quicker than they could say boo. But I think that they are clever enough to realize that if they do it, they would alienate some of their supporters. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, they were obviously targeted as a couple last week when she was with William. I think there might be a different feeling there, but it would just, I honestly think it would turn people so hard against this Republican movement because at the moment, the British public maybe feel that the King has questions to answer, maybe even feel Prince Edward has questions to answer. But I think actually we're always just so happy to see Catherine. But I do want to show you the King earlier, Lady C. Again, and I'm just very transparent about this. All of this is, I think, being engineered by Republic, which is the organisation that does want to overthrow the British monarchy. They're the organisation that has reported Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to the police this week. This is their video, so I'm just being very transparent about that. But this is what happened. It was in Essex, and police apparently did question the heckler. Now, they claim that public anger is growing. That's what Republic is saying. But let's just watch this, Lady
Dan
C.
is joined by Lady Colin Campbell to reveal the latest developments surrounding Meghan Markle, alongside fresh insight into Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and the increasingly complicated position of the so-called embattled princesses, Beatrice and Eugenie. As pressures inside the royal family continue to mount, questions are being raised about loyalty, influence, and where each royal truly stands as the monarchy navigates another turbulent chapter. In this segment, we cut through speculation to examine what's being reported, what's changing behind palace doors, and why these four women are now central to the future stability, or further fracture, of the House of Windsor. Join the channel for fearless royal commentary, like the video to support independent analysis, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next update. Comment below. Who do you think is under the most pressure right now, and why?
Are you all dead and rested?
Yes, I lift it up. Charles! Charles! Have you pressurised the police? It's not investigating Andrew!
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
If you don't think these people need justice,
That's not what it is.
well, it is. Because this is the only way to make it clear to people that Andrew should not be let off.
And then he was also questioned by a journalist too, Lady C. What do you make of it, Lady C?
Oh, typical. I mean, but you can't blame Republic because Republic is trying to bring down the monarchy. And it has to be said, they are getting a great deal of assistance from the government. They're getting a great deal of assistance from the Prime Minister. They're getting assistance from Montecito. They're getting assistance from the United States of America. And they are getting assistance from the mainstream media, even those elements of it which regard themselves as pro-monarchist are misreporting in certain instances the reality of what is going on. And I mean, you know, many people seem to have missed the point that this whole melee is a lot more complicated than people seem to realize it is. For instance, the centrist element of the Labour Party is being attacked by the more extremist element of the Labour Party. So they are using Peter Mandelson's existence and Keir Starmer's opportunistic use of him as ambassador. And this is a Labour Party struggle in part. Where are you reading that? Where are you hearing that in the mainstream media? Nobody's addressing it. That's one of the elephants in the room. So I think that the mainstream media are being remiss, and I think that Republic is actually showing that it's got its act together very effectively. I don't happen to approve of their objective, but you can't argue with their right to actually use what is going on.
Well, indeed, and I'm a free
And
speech absolutist, and I think one of the big problems is that the royal rota for so long has been corrupted, has been complacent, and has been mute on a lot of these things. But we will come to it in just a bit more detail in one moment, Lady C, but I don't want to get distracted first from this message that Catherine did release for World Cancer Day, because, of course, it is so important, and this was such a personal one for her. Watch.
On World Cancer Day, my thoughts are with everyone who's facing a cancer diagnosis, undergoing treatment, or finding their way through recovery. Cancer touches so many lives, not only patients, but the families and friends and caregivers who walk beside them. As anyone who's experienced this journey will know, it's not linear. There are moments of fear and exhaustion, but also moments of strength, kindness, and profound connection. Today is a reminder of the importance of care, understanding, and hope. Please know you are not alone.
And Lady C, that message just shows how much our future queen has changed after her own life-threatening cancer battle.
well, you know, Dan, looking death in the face is a big wake-up call for anybody with a brain and a heart. And I think she's dealt with it magnificently. And I think most people recognize that fact. Even people who aren't monarchists, I think they respect the fact that she's a decent, kind, and a relatively young woman who could lose her life and whose young children could lose their mother. And, oh,
Who's
sorry.
calling?
I thought I turned it off.
Who is it?
Oh, how do I turn it off?
How dare they interrupt us?
Sorry.
Feel free to pick up as long as we can listen in, Lady C. I know your
Okay,
conversations
hold on
are
a second.
interesting.
Harry, yes, darling. Yeah, we need to get rid of Megsy B. Yeah.
But look, Lady C, I did want to ask you about something else, because I do wonder if actually, and I know some people will say I'm crazy here, but if actually William and Catherine's reputation has actually come out of this scandal enhanced. And I point to a post from Victoria Arbiter, the American-based royal commentator, of course, the daughter of Dickie Arbiter, who wrote, William and Kate were criticised for not inviting Fergie to their wedding in 2011. With the benefit of hindsight, perhaps those same critics will commend their decision. And you think about that, Lady C. You think about the fact that William has always taken a tougher stance than his father on the issue of Andrew and the issue of Harry, of course. And I do just wonder if, even though there is this almost historic crisis engulfing the monarchy, because the heir to the throne and his wife remain quite untouched by this scandal, things will be okay. What do you think? Is that too positive a spin?
No, I hope things will be okay. You know, the royal family has been through many other things before and survived. But I think Victoria Arbiter's point is actually a good one, because remember, William has known Sarah all his life. His mother and Sarah were very close. And when the children were young, they did everything. The two sisters-in-law and the four children did everything together. They used to go on holidays together. They often had lunch and dinner together at each other's houses, etc. William will have known that Sarah has always been deeply dodgy. Now, I've known that Sarah was deeply dodgy. And what people seem to not realize is a lot of the flack that Andrew has been getting is due to Sarah's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. It was much closer than his with Jeffrey Epstein. And I am the person who actually said that originally, that I was told by member, so let me rephrase. I was told by somebody close to the situation that it wasn't 15,000, that I think it was 2.1 million. I think it was 2.1 million that Jeffrey Epstein had given her, or that she owed him. And of course, it was basically a gift, but it was a gift that was reliant upon her relationship with him. And indeed, in the emails that have recently been released, she accuses him of using her to reach Andrew, and then effectively dumping her. So, but Sarah has always been the dodgy one.
Yes.
Very financially dodgy. Very.
Yes, indeed. But Lady C, there are question marks now over the other poisoned princesses, Beatrice and Eugenie, because sure, the revelations are particularly horrendous for Andrew and Fergie. It's horrible for their two daughters to see how their parents were discussing them with the world's most prolific paedophile and child sex trafficker. For example, Fergie talking to Jeffrey Epstein in one case about the fact that one of her daughters was away at a shagging weekend, her words in this case. But at the same time, when they went to visit Jeffrey Epstein with Fergie just 5 days after his release from jail, they were 19 and 21. They were adults. Now, I have a very close relationship with my two parents, but if they were to introduce me to two strangers, I would ask some questions. Oh, this dude's just been released from jail, Mum. Like, what's that about? Especially if I was a goddamn member of the British royal family, where all of my interactions are controlled and are likely to be analysed. But this is how Beatrice and Eugenie are fighting back this week, Lady C. So I'll take you through this, then get your reaction. The Daily Mail reporting that they are aghast at the new revelations, their mother's cosy relationship with the paedophile financier and her emails about them. They report that sources close to the sisters say they are also appalled and embarrassed about the new photos of their father Andrew crouching over a mystery woman lying on the floor. The siblings have been left ashamed by their mother's sycophantic emails to the paedophile financier after his conviction for child sex crimes. Now, you remember, of course, she described him as a legend, joked they should get married. In other emails she sent him, she mentioned Eugenie's sex life and revealed Fergie had taken her children to lunch with the paedophile when they were still teenagers. A source close to Eugenie and Beatrice now telling the Daily Mail they are aghast at what they have read. They are mortified by the emails their mother has sent to Epstein. It is so embarrassing for them. We don't believe the girls were told much about what has just emerged, and they will simply be aghast at just how close their parents were to this appalling man. And of course, just how close they were was the fact that Sarah took them to see Epstein just 5 days after he was released from prison for child sex crimes. That's what the new emails reveal. Of course, he did 12 months for soliciting a child for prostitution. He was placed under house arrest. At the time of the visit, Beatrice and Eugenie would have been 20 and 19 respectively. Epstein confirmed that meeting in an email sent to Ghislaine Maxwell. We know she is in jail. This email was sent on July the 28th, 2009. And he wrote, Ferg and the two girls come yesterday. The day before, Fergie had herself emailed Epstein to arrange the visit, writing, what address shall we come to? It will be myself, Beatrice and Eugenie. Are we having lunch? Now, emails seen by the Daily Telegraph newspaper show that the group met at Epstein's Palm Beach mansion, where the paedophile served vegetable lasagna prepared by a Parisian chef.